Yes, my people, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today marks the 1-year anniversary of me starting my cycling journey. So we're going to run through some of the pros and some of the cons on if you should start cycling. So a little life update too. I have now got contact lenses. So before I just rode in my normal glasses, which were transitional, so inside they're normal glasses and outside they turn into sunglasses. But we've got these little Bobby Dazzlers off of Amazon for like 20 bucks. So we're going to see if making the switch for cycling and getting contact lenses is worth it too. So a little review on the cards for these, but let's get into it. Is cycling worth it? Let's go. So the first pro that we're going to go with is, I think the obvious one, is fitness. Now, cycling, first of all, is so much less taxing on the joints. Like, I feel like I could go and cycle different types of cycles every day of the week. Do a long one, do a recovery spin, into intervals. Whereas with running, it takes me, I'd say, a day to recover from a long run. Whereas a recovery spin the next day is actually really nice after a long run. Also, when I started cycling this time last year, I was around 195 pounds. And when I switched from running to cycling, I'm now at 172, which is with a mixture of strength training as well. But I definitely have seen the benefits more from cycling than running. So for me, that is a massive pro in itself. Dang. Now, pro number 2 is the traveling or the exploration side of it. The places that you can go on a bike is absolutely amazing. Now, I know that you can do that running as well, but the distance and where I can get to with an hour to 2 hours of riding is going to be triple, maybe quadruple the place of where I can get to running. So it's a good form of fitness, but actually, you know, gets you outside, gets you exploring new places, makes you think outside the box of where you can get to and where you want to get to. And it's just an unreal feeling getting on your bike and pedaling away. Like, most of the times I don't even plan a route, I just get on the bike and get at it. And it has been honestly so much fun. So yeah, the traveling aspect is definitely a positive in my eyes. And now, third on the list, even though I could give you a ton more, I'm only going to give you 3, is the scalability and the want to improve. So we'll start with scalability. Obviously, bikes are very customizable. You can change the tires, you can change the pedals, you can change the frame, you can change the crankset. There's so many different ways to improve your bike and make it the exact or dream bike that you like, which I think is amazing. Also, with the want to learn is the maintenance side of it. Now, with it being so customizable, there is also a factor where things are gonna maybe break or fall apart. So the fact that you can either take it in and get someone to look at it, or you can maybe learn a little bit about your bike yourself and how to change your tire, how to oil the chain, how to change the brakes, how to do anything really. And I think that that is one of the massive pros of it, in terms of, again, comparing it to running. You've got different running shoes and you can learn a bit about your running form and stuff maybe, but it's more about building your engine if you're looking into marathons and or, you know, if you're looking to do shorter distances, it's all about your intervals and stuff like that. Whereas you can do that on cycling plus so much more, and it can be a bit time consuming, but if you do have the time to learn about your bike, about the maintenance, about different parts of your bike, it does make it such a fun experience of what I've had over this year so far. So there are my 3 pros on why you should start cycling. So we have a little pit stop at Alfred Coffee in Marina Del Rey. I did get an almond croissant as well, but I was so hungry that I did eat that. So yeah, I'm not a great YouTuber, I know, but got the vanilla, world famous vanilla latte, they say. So let's have a gander. I mean, it's good, but it just, I mean, tastes like a lot of other vanilla lattes, I'm not gonna lie. Let me have another go at it. Did I get the world famous one, or did they just have a regular one? Or I don't know. It's alright, it's a vanilla latte. It'll do, it'll keep me fueled for the second half of this ride back, where I will give you my 3 cons. Okay, so we're fed, we're caffeinated. Now let's talk about the cons. So, con number 1, I think, as everybody can guess, is the price. Now, it's not as big of a con as what everybody might think, due to the fact that there's so many different ways to enter cycling. For example, I first bought a bike off Facebook Marketplace for $110. It was a Scott, and it did the job fine. I then wanted to get a gravel bike, which I got from Walmart for $250, I think it was, which I have a review on my YouTube. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. And then that got stolen, unfortunately. So I went with the buy once, cry once method and got a aero bike from Salva, which was actually, you know, a Christmas present. Me and my wife went half and half, so I love her for that. But using me as an example, I had just as much fun and was able to do everything on the $100 bike that I can now do on this $1,300 bike. So yes, the cost can be adding up, especially when you go into, you know, clothing and stuff like that. You don't need to wear all this tie lycra. You don't need to get clipless pedals. All you need is a bike that moves and functions and brakes to get you into it. So do not let the price of getting into cycling be a factor, because there's so many different ways to enter. You could do the Facebook Marketplace or the buy once, cry once method. So it can be a con, but don't let it be. Okay, then we are going to head into con number 2, and that is cycling can be scary. I still get very overwhelmed on riding on streets that don't have a cycling path or a bike path, and it has meant that I have kind of not gone on rides because I've wanted to go somewhere and realised that it hasn't got much of a bike path. So I've actually not gone places due to that reason, and it's still something that I'm getting used to, and I am still getting over it. But cycling on the road can be a very daunting prospect. Now, again, like before, the positive to that con is, like myself, you can just go on routes which are mainly bike paths. this then solves that question. And yes, it does limit to how much or where you can ride, but you're still able to get out on the bike, you're still able to explore these fantastic places. A lot of the places these days do have bike paths. It's only obviously at the main roads and stuff that tend not to, or you can stick to side streets. So yes, it can be very daunting at first, but you can grow out of it like myself, and there are ways around it to make sure that you are getting the most out of your cycling. And then that leads me into con number 3, and that is cycling can be time consuming. Now, this is something that I've had an issue with myself over the last few months, where I've been super busy at work. Is me, as someone who loves to work out, I want to try and work out for 60 to 90 minutes, which I think is a great time to get on the bike, go visit a place, get a good workout in, and then call it a day. Whereas, as I've been a little bit more busier with work lately, sometimes I've only had 20-30 minutes to work out, which again is still a good amount of time to work out. But me as a person, I think in my head that running for 20-30 minutes, I'm going to get more out of a cycle for 30 minutes, which isn't the case, because you could do interval practice, you could go do a hill climb, which are very tough workouts that don't need a lot of time. But there's also the case of the long rides and things like that, where you either go out with a group or go out for yourself over the weekend, where you got some time off and you hit a 2-3 hour ride, which again can be consuming. But on the flip side of that, it's exactly the same as if you are practicing for a marathon, where you need to go out and you need to get, I don't know, 60 to 100 k's worth of miles or kilometers in the tank to build up that engine and the endurance to be able to last for a marathon. So yeah, it can be a con if you make it that way, but so are most things are working out as well. So I don't know, for me personally, this is something that I've had to battle with recently, where do I go for a 30-minute ride or do I go for a 30-minute run? And I have chosen to run recently, but I do intend to keep staying on the bike, keep building the fitness, and even try some of these shorter workouts at times, because I know they can be just as beneficial as those longer rides as well. Oh, so there we have it, home sweet home. We did 25 miles today, so good session out on the bike. But that is my cycling journey after 1 year, what I think is good and what can be improved about it. But again, like I said, in a lot of the cons are very personal, and I think that they aren't going to apply for everybody. And I did give a few ways to obviously make those cons potentially into positives. So if someone were to ask me, should they start their cycling journey, I would say 100% yes. It has honestly been the most fun that I've had working out. It doesn't even feel like working out, that's the thing. Like, I just went on a 25-mile ride from Hermosa Beach to Marina Del Rey, got a coffee, rode back, like, and I've burnt like 1,000 calories. Like, it didn't feel like that I was working out. It's just fun. Like, when I'm running or I'm at the gym, I feel like I'm working out, because I'm putting myself through not pain, but at least the limits. Like, when I'm running, I'm not a massive fan of running. I'll do it just to obviously keep in shape and, you know, keep the legs moving and stuff like that. But when I'm on the bike, like I said, I can just go for hours on end. Ultimately, it be fitness, but it just feels like play at the end of the day. So if you are thinking about it, hopefully this video has helped you to want to start your cycling journey or get a bike and start cycling, because I honestly think that you won't regret it. But if you did like this video, then drop a like, drop a comment. How was your first year of your cycling journey? And I will see you in the next one. Peace.